All right, guys, I wrote a blog yesterday and it has caused a good debate. And actually it's caused enough interest, I figured I'd make a video on the topic as well, because it's something that's being discussed a lot in circles that I run, and just figured I'd give the information I found here. And that is crossbows during archery seasons. That makes a lot of people cringe. That makes a lot of people excited. I'm not here to condemn or defend either one of them. I am a compound hunter, but I don't have a single problem with someone using a legal weapon to go and try to fill a deer tag. With that said, here's a quick breakdown. Crossbow regulations. So 10-point Crossbows has this on their website. Obviously they want to sell bows, so they want people to know where you can use them. And I was not aware that they were this widespread at this point, but here it is. As you can see, 28 states, they are now legal for use in archery season. So there's zero restriction. A crossbow is archery equipment in 28 states. 11 states, they use them in firearm season. So they consider them closer to a handgun or a rifle than a bow, it appears, which is interesting. 5 states physically challenged, 2 states a portion of the archery season, 1 state private land only, 1 state looks like it will be reviewed again in August 2019, so that's not updated. I don't know what happened there. And 1 state totally illegal. Oregon does not like crossbows. Everybody else, they're a big part of their archery season now. 28 states, 100% okay to get a crossbow and use it during the archery season. Does that mean crossbows are being used as often as compounds, more than compounds, or what? That was the question I had concerning Illinois, which is where I live. And what piqued my interest really on this was this press release here. This is the preliminary total for 2020 to 2021 season. It shows 162,000 deer were killed, which that's slightly higher than it's been over the past 4 or 5 years. That could be better weather, you know, better fawns, things like that. But this is where I noticed something really interesting. Archery deer hunters in Illinois took a preliminary total of 75,544 deer. New record. And the interesting thing about that is we killed 162,000 deer, 75,000 with a bow, and set the record. I think it was 05 Illinois set the record harvest total with 201,000 deer. And this year we had a record with archery equipment, and we were 40,000 less animals overall. So that tells me that archery success rates appear to be going up. So is that due to crossbows? Well, they don't have a full harvest breakdown for 2020 yet, so I went here to 2019, and boom, sure enough, the breakdown shows that when crossbows were legalized in 2017 for full use, they made up 30% of all archery harvests. 2018, 39.7%. 2019, 44.8% of the total archery harvest was with a crossbow. And when 2020 results come out, I would have to assume that this is going to follow this trend, and I'll bet it's at 50%. It may even break it. When I get that, I will update the blog, which leads me to this. I wrote about this here, and this is what I explained and what I want to explain in this video, because I thought this was interesting. The most interesting part of this whole crossbow situation. So you see now that crossbows are definitely being used. They make up nearly half of all Illinois archery harvest. So does that mean the success rate went up as well because now we broke our archery record? Well, this, looking at these numbers, kind of explains that it does. The total archery harvest in 2015 was 56,767. In 2019, it was 67,743. So that's 11,000 more animals taken with a bow. Okay? So why is that interesting? Well, if you come down here, you will see that in 15, 208,000 tags were purchased. In 2019, 210,000 tags were purchased. So that means that 11,000 more animals were shot in 2019 than in 2015 on only 1,700 more tags. Crossbows are more effective. That's anecdotal evidence, but that's what that means to me if I'm breaking this down. The question that gave me was this: does that mean less animals are wounded or missed, and that's driving the higher success on the tags? Or is it the actual increased range of a crossbow? Look at this. Raven Crossbows advertises 500 feet a second, electric cocking system, but this is the big one. Meet your next rifle. A good rifle can consistently punch holes in 3-inch bullseyes at 100 yards. A great crossbow can too. They are straight advertising their bow to be as accurate as a rifle. So are people taking further shots and that's driving the success of archery? Should they be more closely compared to a gun? Or do these states have it right? 11 states say that they are more like a gun and they're used in their firearm season. 28 states say archery. So that's the information that Illinois shows. Success is going way up with the increased use of crossbows, and that's where the issue comes in for a lot of compound hunters, because their concern is it's not a bow. You know, you can shoot, I mean, they're advertised to be accurate at 100 yards. I personally compound hunt. I've shot a crossbow one time, and the first shot with it, I was shooting at the little deer on a morel bag target at 70 yards with a scope and dotted that thing very first shot. So there's no doubt that they're easier to pick up and be accurate with than a compound. Compound, you've got to put in a good amount of work. You got to make sure it fits you. Your form's got to be right. You got to practice a lot. Those are all reasons why crossbows are more popular, because that's all scratched. But are they too lethal? That's what a lot of compound hunters would say. Me personally, they're legal, so why even argue that point? The other concern that I'm hearing a lot is this going to cause shorter archery seasons? Is this going to cause less archery tags? If the success rate goes up, are states going to see that and cut tags to cut the difference? And I don't know. That's a concern of mine as well. I enjoy a long archery season, and I've always enjoyed that kind of the woods to yourself feeling that you get in a bow season. And that is changing a little bit now with crossbows, which is a good thing. It's a selfish thing for me to not like it, because I used to get the timber to myself. Now, there's a lot more guys that used to gun hunt that do bow hunt as well. But on the flip side, it's a good thing, because there's also a lot of people that didn't used to deer hunt at all that are. And if you don't like that, then you are just being selfish, because kids, they couldn't pull 40 pounds before, but they can get out and bow hunt now with a crossbow. And if you ignite that fire in a 9, 10, 11-year-old kid, he's going to grow up, he's going to promote the sport, he's going to protect the sport, a lifetime of conservation fees to help everything out. So I think at the end of the day, it's a good thing that we're getting more people interested in archery hunting. The argument is it archery hunting? And I think that's something that you guys can discuss on your own. I just wanted to bring the analytics out here that I'm seeing, and there's definitely major swings in archery success rates and the use of crossbows in archery season. Will crossbows take over archery season entirely and force them down to a tiny percentage like a recurve? I think traditional hunters make up 1% of the archery harvest. Is that where compounds are headed? Maybe. I do know that the major manufacturers are advertising really hard on their crossbows, and you know, we've got new companies popping up, old companies coming back, and I do believe that compounds are going to continue to decline. I think there will always be those niche compound hunters, guys that don't want to give them up. I just believe it's going to be easier to go with a crossbow at some point for a lot of people. So if you're a compound hunter and this hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, I get it. I'm going to compound hunt for as long as I can as well. But I just think you need to prepare yourself for a basically crossbow archery season. I think it's going to be a lot of crossbows out there and a few compounders, and you guys got to hunt on an unlevel playing field maybe. If you guys want to check out the breakdown I did for Illinois, I will link that in the description. It's essentialoutdoorsman.com. If there's something I didn't touch on in this video or something I missed the point on, let me know that as well, and I'll try to make that right. But again, I just wanted to give some information. I think this is where we're going to see some big changes here over the next few years. I don't know what that means, but hey, I'm just going to get out there and bow hunt until they tell me that I got to do something different, and we'll go from there. If we need to lobby for our long archery seasons, we may have to.